the pond project's coming along as we expected. Things are going very well, and I'll show you what we're going to do today. 3 of the banks are all seeded in a lawn type grass, and the back side of the dike is seeded with pasture grass, and it's going real quickly. It's germinating fast, and that's just what I wanted. So today we're going to use the pulverizer. We've got plenty of ballast in the front of it, and there's a lot of shade here today. I hope this will turn out and you can see it. But I'm going to grade that hillside, seed it in pasture grass, and go from there. Here's a view from the other side. The hillside's been raked. There's some clumps down there of twigs in that I want to pick up first and get up and out of there. And then I'm going to weed whack those weeds right at the water's edge. And then I'm going to use the soil pulverizer to just level out the ground so that if I do want to mow it in the future, it'll be a lot easier. Then I'm going to seed it heavy with pasture grass, and I'll bet we'll have green grass in here, nice green grass in here in 2 weeks. It's mid to about the 20th of August, at optimum time to plant seed here in Iowa. So let's get started and see how everything performs. I've put a lot of ballast in the front of the tractor, 300 pounds, 400 pounds in the back on that piece of equipment.
My thought here was I'll back the tractor down the hill with the scarifiers and the roller bar across that ground, level it out, and try to drag it back uphill. Worst case, raise the back up and then drive up the hill like you can see I'm doing there. I'm pretty happy so far. I'm using the differential lock there, and the tractor's climbing up the hill pretty good, isn't it? This is a pretty steep hill, and I wonder how a larger tractor like a 2038 would work on this hill. I've had some friends with bigger tractors, and if you do, let me know. Somebody told me bigger is not always better. I'm pretty comfortable on the tractor going up and down the hill in this direction. I want to take a moment and thank a viewer named John. John reminded me that there's a adjustment knob behind my feet that controls the drop rate of that pulverizer of the rear attached implement. So instead of dropping it to the ground real quickly now, in the future I'm going to be able to adjust that valve and choke off the fluids and lower it a lot easier. Thanks, John. You know, the more I work this hillside, the greasier it got, as you can see what's happening here. This has a few weeping springs on this hillside, and the soil's poor, so it didn't surprise me, but I was really happy with the way the tractor was getting out of there. So I have two goals now. It drove uphill very well. I wanted to see how well it would go downhill. I also wanted to shape right there. I wanted to shape that bank a little bit better with those scarifiers because I couldn't do a very good job of the way the road and that area met. It's a pretty short pull. Then I got down here and realized the tire tread really isn't very good for going uphill. Going uphill backwards, I should say. You're probably asking yourself, why don't I take all that weight out of the bucket? But my thought, right or wrong, was I wanted the weight on the front and the back, hoping it would keep my center of gravity low. And if I did get into a hole on that hill that I didn't see, I could always drop that bucket or drop that pulverizer, and increases the chances of me not tipping that tractor over, rolling that tractor over. Well, things started turning against me here. I got into some clay and some gumbo, and the tractor started not only to get stuck but slide sideways. And the more I tried to get out, the more that clay kind of polished itself and got even slipperier. So about time to get some help and get out of here safely. You know, I should have known better. That tire design is not made to back up a hill, especially a wet, clayish hill. So what I did is I went and got the mule and just hooked a tow strap to it. It wasn't going to be a real hard pull, I just needed some guidance, a small tug to get me up off that hill. So now I stopped and used the strap, run it through my winch, and then hooked on to the pulverizer in 2 places to give me more of a solid pull up that hill. Well, now it finally dawned on me, go ahead and take some of that weight out of the bucket and give the mule a little help. Well, I was getting a little discouraged at this point, so I thought, well, we'll just throw the lawn seed to it here, and if I have to hand rake it or whatever, then it dawned on me I'll go up and get the landscape rake. Well, this is a pretty good idea. I mean, it's better than nothing. Well, barely. You know, everything kind of went bad here. I got the ground all chewed up, and the clay's all exposed, and it's just not working out very well for me. So I decided to head home, tack it fresh on another day, and do a little more hand rake the hills needed. And we're going to jump ahead here on the timeline, and I'll show you the results. So there it is, about 4 weeks later. I did some hand work to it, and I think it turned out pretty good, don't you? Very happy with it. If you care to join me on the next episode, I'll show you how I use the pond water to water all this newly seeded grass. Well, that's all I've got for now. We'll see you next time. So long from Today in Iowa.